Welcome back, Kia owners. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about the symptoms and why you should change your PCV valve. Do you think you need to change it? Do you know the symptoms if your valve is bad and is causing problems? Do you know what those symptoms are? Watch this video so you can get the heads up on the problems that could happen if you have a bad PCV valve. But before we get started, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel where you'll see more Kia DIY repair videos. But before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell. Believe it or not, this really helps me to continue making these videos. So why do you need to know the symptoms of a bad PCV valve? Is it really that important? What does it actually do anyway? If these are questions in your mind right now, trust me, I used to think the same thing. Here you can see on my 2016 Kia Soul, the location's right here where the red arrow's at. And this is what the part looks like. What's the big deal about this valve anyway? Well, without getting technical, because there is a lot of YouTubes out there that'll go into detail what it actually does, let me go over this really briefly, what this valve does. Again, without getting too complicated. That way you can understand why it's important for you to change this valve. Okay, here's a cross section of a typical engine. I know you're saying, oh my God, here we go. I don't need to look at this. I thought you said you weren't going to get technical. Don't worry, I'm not. But this is a really good illustration of why you need a PCV valve. Now granted, this is not a Kia engine, but all engines typically work the same. You have a piston that compresses air and fuel mixture, and then you have a spark plug that ignites it, which causes an explosion, which makes the piston move downward, and you have movement or motion, which makes the crank turn to provide the power that you need. Well, what happens during this process, as the fuel mixture explodes where the red arrow's at, there is so much pressure from the explosion that gases make their way through the piston walls and move down into the crankcase area. This phenomena is called blow-by. If these gases are captured while they're still in gas form, they can be reintroduced into your intake manifold and back into the piston, which in turn reduces the emissions that are put into the air. That's one of the benefits of having a working PCV valve. Now, if these gases aren't removed because your PCV valve is not working properly, or clogged, these gases turn into a solid, which mixes into your oil and reduces viscosity or reduces the lubricating properties your oil has. And one of the numerous things that occurs is that your engine develops carbon buildup, also known as sludge. This carbon buildup reduces the flow of your oil moving around into your engine to keep it cool and lubricated, as shown in some of these examples here. So how do I know if my PCV valve is bad or going bad? Well, that all depends on how you take care of your car. If you don't take care of your car and you have a lot of problems, this list that I'm going to show you, you probably won't understand and hear and feel the symptoms that your car is communicating to you. But if you're like me and you're aware if there's any problems with your car as you're driving, this list is going to be very helpful for you. Well, let's look at some of the symptoms. Here are the possible symptoms you may have if you have a bad PCV valve. Number 1, if you have any misfires. Number 2, if you're noticing you're using more oil than usual or some oil leaks, you may need one. Because your engine is under pressure, the PCV valve is like a pressure release valve. If your PVC valve is not working correctly or clogged, your engine will develop more than average pressure, which in turn adds more pressure than average to all your gaskets that are on your engine. For instance, valve cover gaskets. You'll notice there'll be leaks in your valve cover gaskets. Number 3, white, black, blue smoke from the exhaust. Number 4, if you're getting any engine stalls. Number 5, poor fuel economy. Number 6, your check engine light is on. Number 7, if you have an OBD2 scanner, it may be giving you lean code readings. Number 8, it may read that you have a bad O2 sensor when all you really need is a valve. Number 9, high RPM or rough idle. Number 10, lean or rich fuel mixture. Or number 11, poor acceleration. All these symptoms may be because you have a bad PCV valve. And if it is bad, causing any of these issues, you're in luck. because this valve only costs anywhere between $10 and $15, and it doesn't require any special tools. If you'd like to learn more about your PCV valve and would like to know how to replace it, just click up on the right hand corner and I'll show you how to remove and replace this valve. It's a good rule of mine that I change mine every time I change out my spark plugs. Once you do that, it should last you from 25,000 to 100,000 miles depending on how you drive and what kind of terrain you drive in. It's a good idea to write this information down on your Kia Bible, so to speak. The date, your mileage, what repair you did, you installed and replaced your PCV valve. You could also put the part number on there for the next time. This is real good information so you don't lose track of what you've done to your car. Plus it's a bonus for the new owner if you decide to sell it. It'll show how much you cared for your car. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was very informative. Please check out my other how-to videos. Oh, and check out my new website. There's new items being put in there every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, hit the bell. Until then, we'll see you at my next video. Bye.